Alrighty, I'm just going over some Iron Warrior tanks I've decided to start working on. And I'm trying out some different methods on how to do them. So I've got these four right here. And starting with this one, this guy I just primed black, then did a dry brush of Pro Acryl Dark Silver, and then a dry brush over that of Scale 75 Thrash Metal. I think it came out pretty well. And this guy, I went ahead, he's my number 2 tank. Numbered the bottoms of them so I don't mix them up. He, again, primed black. Then this guy did an airbrush of Pro Acryl Dark Silver, and then a dry brush of Thrash Metal, which honestly I don't think there's enough contrast between the Thrash Metal and the Dark Silver. But he's good and metallic. And then this guy over here is number 3. This is just a black primed and then a dry brush of Thrash Metal. Kind of like how this one's coming out. It's got some good contrast on it. And then this dude over here was primed black, airbrushed dark silver, and then I did a dry brush of Pro Acryl Silver on top of it. Kind of makes them bright, probably too bright for Iron Warriors, but I'm going to be doing some weathering and washes on them, so it'll probably tone it down. So this might be the method to go for the base coat, but we shall see. Alright, doing this for the second time because I forgot to hit the record button. But I've got the 4 tanks laid out in the same order, going from 1 to 4 here. And I went ahead and did the Shadow Brown oil wash. Let that dry and then sponged some of it off. Went a little heavier on the dozer blades, and I think I would like some more definition on them, so I foresee some black lining in the future. And I might try gloss varnishing one of them first to see if that helps with the panel lining, and then hit it with a matte varnish. Varnishes will mess with the metallic finish, but I mean the oil washes kind of do that too, and I can dry brush some metallic paint back on them to at least give the edges kind of a more metallic shine. And realistically, these guys are meant to be dirty and gritty, so they really shouldn't be that shiny anyways. Alright, so I got the black lining done on these guys. I'm not sure how much of a difference it made, but I went ahead and glossed varnished 2 of them beforehand, number 1 here and number 4 here, and it definitely made a difference in getting the black lining to go into and stay in the crevices, so I would highly recommend that. And I did matte varnish them afterwards, so they're not super shiny. They just still look pretty metallic to me though, which is nice. And then on these guys, I did the black lining in 2 ways. One was with a Tamiya black liner over here. I'll probably edit it in, it'll pop up too. And I did that for the first 2 here. So we have one that was gloss varnished, one that was not. And then I went ahead and made up a mixture, an oil mixture for the other 2 here with Ableton 502 black. And I basically made it pretty thick. I just thinned it down with mineral spirits, but still it was noticeably thicker than the panel lining. And I think it worked a little bit better. Although again, after the Shadow Brown, I don't think it really makes a big difference. In the future, I might just try, I might just stick with doing Shadow Brown and skip the black lining actually. Or go ahead and maybe mix in a little black with the Shadow Brown. I will say maybe doing some black lining on like the panels here and on like the turret separation might help, so still do that. But again, I'm trying to keep these relatively simple so I can knock them out quickly, because you have a lot of vehicles in Legions Imperialis. But for the next step, I think I'll go ahead and be doing some black on them and start picking some spots for the hazard stripes. So I'll get that done and then give you guys another update. So I went ahead and did the hazard stripes on these. Did them all in a slightly different way. I think I'll take some close-up pics so you can maybe see the difference a bit more, although it's subtle. I'm going to prefix this by saying that when you assemble these, it's possible to do so without gluing down these little turrets here, and that is really handy, having a mobile if you want to do hazard striping on this upper part, because then you don't have to worry about the barrels getting in the way. These guys, I did not make them mobile, and made it a little bit problematic. These guys, I just did the bottom one, obviously. So going on here left to right, so this first one is just white with Imperial Fist for the yellow over it, and then I used Black Legion for the Black Legion contrast to do the stripes. I like Black Legion contrast for any sort of like black lining or freehand, since it's pretty smooth and pretty opaque. This next one, let's see, I did this one with bright yellow ochre and then went over it with Imperial contrast. I like this one maybe a little bit more than this one. It kind of makes it a more orangey yellow, although the difference is really splitting hairs. Now this one is kind of my yellow recipe, and it's bright yellow ochre with bismuth yellow over it. And I like that one quite a bit. It might be a little too bright for Iron Warriors, although it does kind of give me construction vibes because it's practically a neon. And then over here, this one I did real simple. I just left it with the bright yellow ochre. So it's the quickest, especially if you're doing a bunch of tanks, but I'm not sure how much I actually like it. Probably go for one of these two. But anyways, oh, I'm also going to say, do this step before you do the shadow brown oil wash all over, because I'm going to need to go back and weather these to get them to actually fit in with the scheme. They're a little clean right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I'll also add the decals to it and maybe get some base coats on some of the guns as I get ready for them. But yeah, but here's the hazard striping, along with some blacking, but I did the black by painting Chaos Black on it, so that's kind of a given. But anyways, onwards. Alrighty, so I did these tracks a couple of different ways, just messing around. So for this one, I went ahead and just did a shadow brown of it, just trying out some oil paints. On this one, I did a burnt sienna, just a much more orangey dirt color. Also did that for the dozer blades on all of these. Now for this guy, I went ahead and just did Black Templar contrast. It's alright. Still pretty dark coverage, so we don't have a lot of the metal part of the track shining through. And then this is my usual, which is just coal black and a dry brush of thrash metal on there. But that's the tracks so far. Also did a little weathering with the oil washes while I was at it. So now I'm just going to go ahead, finish off the guns. I think that's about it. Guns and exhaust for the final details, and then I'll get some close-up shots and we can compare the final results. Okay, and here are my finished results. For the kind of heat warping on the barrels, I just had two ways of doing it. Basically, I used for 1 and 2 here, I used some Minotaur paints, and I just do Minotaur brown, then purple, and then plasma fluid, building up a progression from brown, purple to blue. And then on these two over here, I did the exact same thing, but with contrast paint using, I believe it was Snakebite Leather, then Magos Purple, and then Talisar Blue. The contrast paint's a little more matte, which is nice, than the Minotaur kind of want to hit these with some matte varnish, but I'm feeling a little lazy. Although I still kind of like the Minotaur paints for this. And then finally, I did kind of the lights on them. It's just white paint. I used Pro Acryl Titanium White and then Pro Acryl Fluorescent Orange, just to kind of make them glow a little bit. Didn't really bother doing an OSL effect on them. Like I said, these 4 are just the beginning. So I wanted to try to keep it pretty quick. But here we go. And hopefully you enjoyed my very subtly different ways of painting the same thing.